something. So let me ask you this, Hick. So when they're grading these, I mean, are they looking for like things like a fingerprint on these cards? I mean, you know, I understand the corners, the center brightness, the clarity of the card. I can think of a, you know, of a Frank Thomas that I have that is, you know, an 89 tops, the one where he looks like a freaking middle linebacker. You know, you know the card I'm talking about. You know, it's blurry, right? It's just bad printing day at tops, you know. But then I got one that's right next to it that's like crisp. It's perfect. But are they looking at things like a fingerprint that will take the grade down from a 10 to an 8? I mean, what does that look like? I mean, you say, hey, it comes out of the pack, unless it's a quote unquote bad print day and it's just horribly off center and you can tell it with the naked eye. I mean, is it pretty much guaranteed that it's going to be an 8, 9, or a 10? And what are the percentage of 80s cards, early 90s cards that come out of the pack and grade out at a 10?
Yeah,
because that's where money. It used to be eyeball it. That's mint. Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Top
and
dog.
That's where I think, like, if you're okay, so fingerprints. My understanding from some of the research I've done around SGC specifically is that they've come out and said that they're not going to necessarily, like, they'll actually sort of somewhat clean your card for you to make sure that you're not downgraded for things like fingerprints, because those aren't necessarily permanent flaws in the card. So that's kind of the fingerprint thing, which is a good question. I think the other, I can't really speak exactly for like PSA or any of the other grading companies. That's just a representative from SGC on a video said, you know, we're not going to downgrade your grade for a fingerprint. Like if it wipes off, we'll wipe it off for you, that kind of thing. Some people do actually clean their cards. I've been too scared to put anything on a card. I've always wanted to just go straight from the thing into the penny sleeve and the card saver and send it in. But they do look for, like you said, like any imperfection that could be totally out of your control. So it was a bad, like the printer, the coloring isn't as good for whatever reason. It was a bad
like
print day.
Smudge on a home run stat on the back.
Yeah, definitely off. Yeah, definitely, you know, centering edges, color, different things like that. Also, like the Jerry Rice rookie, since we mentioned Jerry Rice a minute ago, has like, I believe it's 1986 tops, has like a green border. So some of it is the design into how well the card grades. So for example, like that green border is hard to not see a white mark. Whereas if you have a white border,
it's got a slight blemish.
You might not see something. Now these grading companies have technology that are out of this world right now. Let me grab this card real quick. So I'm posting this in another video soon, but I have this Michael Jordan skybox.
Oh, I sent you photos of a couple of mine when I was
at home. Look, and I bought this from someone online. And I bought it, and it was in another holder. It was in just a really non-reputable grading company holder. And PSA has this service called cross grading, where you can send it in. They'll crack the slab of the other grading company, and they'll grade it for you. But so I originally, this is in an SGC holder right now. I originally sent this into PSA. They sent it back to me saying it was altered and there was evidence of trimming. And when I look at the card, I cannot tell that the card was trimmed. But so PSA didn't even crack the slab from the other grading company. They had technology they were able to examine through the other slab, tell that it was for sure trimmed, send it back to me. I cracked it out of that slab. Yeah. So I cracked it out of that slab, sent it into SGC. SGC put it in their slab, but you see it says A here for altered. So I just have this is my one card that I have, my one graded card that I have in my possession. The rest of them are in a vault, which we can talk about later. But this is a reminder, Nate, to me as to how hard grading is and how